Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby and have ourselves a drink.
All right, and with Michaela singing, that means we are back in the lobby bar for the week of March the 23rd, 2026. Brian and Michaela with you, well rested, reinvigorated, rejuvenated, because the Oscars are done. So we're back to our normal routines. Not really normal, I guess. But how's it going? It's officially spring now, Michaela. How those seasonal allergies treating you?
I'm feeling pretty good. However, the rest of my friends and my poor kiddo are not. It's kind of um bimodal. Like if we took the weather in
That
Charlotte
was
right
a really
now,
big word. I don't
we'd
know
have
even know what that means.
a bimodal um graph because it is either 90 degrees out or it's 40 degrees. Like there's no differential now. Like literally in 3 hours yesterday it went from 85 to 54. And I wish I was kidding, but I was at my kiddo's baseball game and I'm in shorts and like a tank and I'm dying because it's so hot. And then by the end of the game in 2 hours I am in a blanket and covered in a hoodie. It's terrible. So
You needed a bimodal outfit, I guess, to help you
yeah.
through this time.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, no, my allergies are destroying me, but that's a-okay because yeah, I'm loading up on the was that like Afrin? No, you can't take that one every day. That's bad. I don't know. I'm taking something. It's getting me through. It's
They
getting me
say that's
through, and
bad.
yeah,
I
so
still
don't do
do it,
that.
but they say
Yeah,
that's bad.
don't not medical advice. Don't listen to
No, we're
us.
not doctors.
Uh,
Don't listen to us.
not doctors, but we are pretty okay at making a cocktail. And I found one that is springy and excellent, and it sounds good. And it uses an ingredient that I found a while back at the grocery store, and I've been wanting to use and haven't been able to find too many things to put it in. But it's going to go into this, and it's going to be great. This is the Lavender Lemon Drop Martini, and it comes from emilyfabulous.com. So, Michaela, we love a martini. We love even a lemon drop martini. That's pretty good. A lemon drop
Mm.
martini is basically just a martini version of some limoncello, one of our favorite things around these parts. So go ahead and let's do it. The lavender lemon drop martini. So into a shaker tin, 2 ounces of vodka, 1 ounce of freshly squeezed lemon juice, and then you're getting your sweetness here from a lavender simple syrup. So you can go about that a couple of ways. As I mentioned, I found one of these at the grocery store. So I think you're probably going to be okay finding one of these. Not too hard to do. But if you want to make one, obviously just a simple syrup, and then you're going to put some lavender in there, so you can get like edible like lavender flowers online, or maybe from a flower shop. Check that out. Or you can even just go to like if you have a nicer grocery store that has like a good tea aisle. A lot of those will just have like lavender tea. So you can just get some of that and steep it in the simple syrup and then, keep it and use it just like you would any other simple syrup. But what do you think about this lavender lemony concoction here for spring?
Oh, so I love lavender. I think lavender is something though that if you overdo, you're gonna taste and smell like your grandmother, like the quintessential grandmother kind of, which can be really comforting, but can also be really off-putting. So I
It's a
would
little
say,
laundry detergent-esque if you overdo
yeah,
it.
yeah, a little bit. So be careful with it. I think that this is the right amount of like balance between the sweetness and the acidity because you're doing a whole ounce of lemon juice. Of course, if you use fresh squeeze, that's gonna be better than basically the ascorbic acid that you get off of buying the store-bought lemon juice. But I think this is really beautiful, and I love it because it's very clean. Vodka, unlike gin, there's not a lot of florality or any of juniper notes or anything like that. So this is just very easy drinking, very clean. If you don't like lavender at all, this is probably not your thing. But you're halfway to a limoncello martini or a lemon drop martini. So,
Mhm.
just add some simple syrup in there without the lavender, and you're good to go. Yeah, this is super easy, and it like looks really pretty. I love depending on how your lavender simple syrup looks, if it's got like a little hinge of purple to it, it kind of makes a beautiful like opaque color in the glass, which is really lovely.
Mhm. Yeah, it's gonna mix with that lemon juice, kind of turn that lemony yellow a little more
Mhm.
opaque, and yeah, look really nice. And that's gonna be perfect and springy. This would be good for like a brunch type of a thing, or just good for like a night out or a movie night in, because that's what we're doing a lot of now. Oscars are over, so we're resting up. We're catching up on some TV shows we've been missing out on. We went to the movie theater like 100 times this last week, so that's pretty good. Movies do not slow down even when Oscars do. And let's talk about the movies that were coming out because we went and saw an absolute banger of a box office weekend here for Project Hail Mary, which leads the way $80.5 million here domestically, $140 million worldwide. I think that everyone was gearing up for Project Hail Mary to have just a stellar, an interstellar opening weekend, as it were, and it certainly did that. $140 million. I think even that surprised the people in charge of these things. I don't know. Hoppers comes in second. Duran Dur, The Revenge, which I was told by friend of the pod, Ian, that this is basically like Bollywood Avengers. So that's pretty good. $10 million there. Ready or Not 2 and Reminders of Him round out the top five. Project Hail Mary, Michaela, we went and saw it. We have plans to talk about it here on the podcast here in over the next couple of weeks. We've got a couple of things we're trying to get out here, some new releases, obviously some Oscar coverage still wrapping up here this week on the main pod, but Project Hail Mary, pretty good. People should go see it, right?
People should go see it. People should go see it. Yeah. Yeah, especially if you like The Martian. Like anybody who is a fan of like I think his last name is Weir. I hope I'm saying that right, but Andy Weir wrote it. He also wrote Project Hail Mary. Um, so if you're into that at all, yeah, you should definitely go see it. It's a little long. It's about 2.5 hours. But it's based on a book, so it's kind of hard to be mad at it because it has a lot of stuff to cover. And at least we're not, they didn't do the thing that they do where it's like Project Hail Mary Part 1 and Project Hail Mary Part 2 to get it all in. So it's a little long, but it's worth it. It's very good.
It's worth it. So go check that out. Yeah, like I said, we'll be covering it here on the podcast here in a couple of weeks, I do believe. Let's talk about some things that are coming out. Actually, scratch that because not a lot is coming out. Because as I just mentioned, Project Hail Mary was slated to be a super big release, and it was. And in about a week and a half's time, Super Mario Brothers Galaxy, I think is what the name of that one is called, is coming out, and that is also expected to be a absolute behemoth of the box office. That first Mario movie made, I think it was like the highest grossing animated film of all time or something like
Yeah,
that
yeah,
potentially.
something
So I
like
think
that.
they're looking forward to that. Our local Regal is going to be open 24 hours the day the Mario Brothers movie comes out, which is absurd. That's like the old days of like the 90s and early 2000s when movie theaters were doing all sorts of crazy stuff. So we'll see. Are we going to go see it at 3 a.m.? Probably not, but we're probably going to go see it. So not a lot coming out this week in terms of movies or streaming things or otherwise. Kind of a weird time of year. Last week on the podcast, we wrapped up our official Oscar coverage with a recap of the 98th Annual Academy Awards. That was a really good time. Had a amazing turnout on our pick'em, all that stuff. You can go back and listen through. We kind of talk about the picks and what we had picked and what won, all that kind of stuff. We've got that, and then this week coming out on the main pod, we are going to be covering One Battle After Another, which won the Best Picture at the Academy Awards. And we're going to be recreating Fanny's Cocktail for that, as we have done years in the past. Michaela, looking forward to talking about One Battle After Another. We did our mini episode for Patreon, but we never talked about it fully on the pod.
We didn't. We didn't. And so I'm actually really excited about it because it had been like 8 months, I feel like, since we'd seen it. And I'd seen about 150 movies since then. So it's going to be good to revisit. Yeah, it's going to be really good to revisit. One thing I am kind of sad is that the box office did not love The Bride. And so we had slated The Bride to be on the calendar. And now I don't know if it makes any sense because I don't know if anybody even saw it, which is a shame because I thought that was decent. But we have a week and a half to catch up on sleep, catch up on all the series that we want to, and take an extra long nap because I think a 3 a.m. drink the movies live episode at the theater to watch Super Mario Brothers Galaxy is I think we should do that.
Live stream it, yeah. We'll get some Super Mario Brothers like pajama pants and go to the movie theater. No way I can stay awake for it. It doesn't even matter how good the movie is. So,
I don't know
yeah,
which one of us is going to be Mario and which of us is going to be Luigi, but yeah, I don't think I'm not tall enough. I'll get some stilts and I'll be
get
Luigi.
some get some stilts. There you go. I do know we're going to enjoy it with a lavender lemon drop martini. So, yeah, that is it for the box office this week. Stay tuned for One Battle After Another later this week, and we'll catch you next week in the lobby bar.